Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today's video is going to be slightly different. I'm going to be talking about a movie I've watched recently, which is I Saw the TV Glow by A24 Productions. While I had some expectations due to A24's reputation, I initially discovered the film through TikTok, so my enthusiasm is like moderate at best. Reactions to the movie varies between moviegoers. Some people find it dull, others connect deeply with its themes. I see a Reddit post where they discover homages like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and various cameos. I can definitely say the film has quality. The set design is amazing. I don't agree with some of the uses of colors though, because it is too vibrant and takes away from the film at times. The other thing I don't like is the pacing, which is very slow. Key elements such as like the era, character relationships, and mystique could be condensed into like the first 20 minutes. Some scenes seem really drawn out, which only work if we are like acquainted with the characters, you know? These sequences seems to be like a pause, trying to tell the viewer like, hey, this character is thinking about the situation or thinking about what they're going to say. But to us, the viewer, it doesn't really matter because like, again, we don't know these characters well enough to like formulate an idea of what they're thinking about. There's this 20-second sequence where it starts with Owen, our main character, like spacing out to the 𝓜𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬, which is this in-universe supernatural show, and then the next cut to an ominous ice cream truck, which is just sitting there for a solid 5 seconds. Then it cuts back to the main character staring blankly, spacing out again. So this entire sequence, we see two things: the main character and this ice cream truck. It doesn't really do anything for us as the viewer, because we don't see this ice cream truck ever again. We do occasionally see the ice cream man here and there, but that's it. So nothing was achieved in that sequence, I feel like. We already know like the main character, Owen, is fascinated by the show, and the secondary character, which is Maddy, basically madly in love with the show. So we know this from the get-go already. There's no point using this sequence to tell us that again. At the 20-minute and 44-second mark in the film, we had an extra long sequence where it seems like the purpose is to tell the audience, hey, this is the next day, Owen is waking up, packing his stuff. But it took, I don't know how long, I think it was about like a minute and 20 seconds to deliver that, when it could have been like way shorter. The highlight of this sequence, I should say, is just Owen making eye contact with the audience, so like a fourth wall break, letting us know like, hey, this thing is getting kind of weird now. So a type of foreshadowing. Again, I didn't like how dragged out that sequence was either. Moving on to the next topic, which is just the bizarreness of the film. I feel like it contrasts really well with its realistic ending. Owen, our main character, is completely defeated by reality, even though it's like not a real one in universe. Just to make the film more personal, we see the breakdown of Owen's character and failure to like become something greater. That make us, the viewer, feel like super bad for the character, you know? It's just, wow, a 44-year-old person, or somewhere around there, he's like 40-ish in age at that point, breaking down, losing his marbles, shouting like mommy. We know that reality is fake, but if we are to imagine this as a event occurring in real life, that will make you cringe. Like, that will make you cringe so hard and feel so bad for the person doing that. You're like, geez, man, I'm happy that I'm not him, you know? It's just really, really sad. Personally, I think this film is a rare gem in that we as consumers are finally given a tough film to watch. And it's not something that's like rainbow and sunshines, but it's also not hell-bent on trying to make a bad ending or sad ending just for the sake of making one. It's the perfect film for someone that wants something tough to watch. I Saw the TV Glow actually like drips feed the audience things that makes Owen become a failure, right? So at the start, when Owen was a child, we see how he's all confident, being able to chat with a complete stranger, aka Maddy, and he's able to talk fluently, and eventually Owen becomes this hesitant adult with like slow speech, unsteady mannerisms. Again, like that's like partially because the actor, they have this cadence to their speech, but it makes sense if you think about it, you know, like Owen has some sort of disability in a way. And no, I'm not talking about his sexual preference. He literally has like some sort of mental disability that's like never directly addressed, but we as audience can feel it. Owen is scared to like depart from the familiar. He or she or they basically never took the chance to go beyond and like adventure out, I would say. Every invitation that's given to Owen to break free out of like his current lifestyle, he retreats back into their shell, their safe space. On this note, this is me doing a quick little insert. I realized that Owen seeing his home as a safe space, feeling comfortable enough to go back and stay, is actually another great point that I will bring up later in regards to his family situation, which I think is really, really clever. So Owen, as he grew older, he started to regress. He still retains his childlike innocence, which is unbefitting of their age. I honestly see myself in him because like I'm in a similar position in life, but I've grown through like things that I do. I put myself through seriously dumb shit just to grow as a person. In the past, I'm basically Owen, That's why I like feel connected to the film. Now, I had a hard time relating to like the sexual confusion part of the film. Because for me, even though I relate to Owen in a social sense, I don't feel confused about my sexuality. I know what I like, I know what I want to do. So for me, it's like I feel really bad for this individual being unable to know what they want. This film, however, like is very clever about that. They never fully address Owen's sexual preference. Not even once. You might think they did when Owen started cross-dressing or when Owen's talking to Maddy. But let's focus on that real quick. When Owen was cross-dressing, we see their facial expression. It is not excited, it is not sad, it is not irritated. He is confused. Or they, I don't know their pronouns. So when Maddy questioned Owen, do you like girls or do you like boys? Owen just says, I think I like TV shows. So this brings up the idea that Owen could be asexual, bisexual, or he just doesn't care, Like that could just be it. And the theme of being transgender, I think that's like really a minor note in the whole LGBTQ plus theme. Owen being potentially a girl in an actual reality has no impact on the story. It has no fucking impact. At no point did we see Owen wants to become feminized. At no point did we see Owen wants to bring or purchase female attire, female anything. We see Owen cross-dress. That is an example of Owen being curious. The same way Owen was curious about the show, The 𝓜𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬. I think it's okay for a person to just explore, but it is kind of concerning how people just attach this transgender thing onto Owen when, again, there's no clear evidence of what the hell Owen would like to be. All right, that's kind of a tangent. The movie, maybe they don't want to restrict a particular sexual preference for the character. They want everybody to be able to relate to Owen. Maybe that's why. This entire section is basically a great example of the Kuleshov Effect, where arrangement of shots like the before and after events are able to change specific narratives. Going back to the cross-dressing thing, we see Owen cross-dressing, right, in a shot, and then the next shot we see his face being like no reaction. If you're feeling a certain type of way, you'll think, oh, so he's coming out the closet. If you're like me, who don't really see that theme, you'll be like, oh, he's just confused. So that's just a great way of just changing the narrative through the use of shot sequencing. We see a lot of shots that imply Owen is gay, but he could have been asexual or bisexual. And later on in the movie, Owen did say that he had a family, but there was no direct shot of their family. He could have had a male partner, a female partner. He could have been asexual and just adopted animals, and he calls the animals their family. If anything, Owen is an unreliable narrator. Moving on, I think another theme of the movie is just like conveying the difficulty in establishing a connection as a socially awkward person. It seems that in Owen's life, there truly was just three individuals: their father, mother, and like Maddy. The film portrays the struggle of a socially awkward person really well, dude. He has difficulties talking to people, making eye contact, being comfortable with himself. It's just a list of things. And he's combating this social awkwardness on top of their sexuality, and it just compounds, you know, make his life, his day-to-day life really fucking hard. Owen has like no time for sexual exploration when his life is constantly impacted by this inability to be a functional adult, which in their eyes seems to equate to being a man, like a man of a house. Lastly, I believe like Owen made the right choice given what they had to work with. We can't really blame the character for running away. Their actions may not be brave, you could call it cowardly, but you can't really say it's wrong, you know. So I do see like Owen's avoidance to certain things and like their situation as a parallel to the idea of being closeted. But if we forget about that for a second, like just talking strictly from in-universe, like pretend we are that character, there was not a single thing to help Owen believe Maddy's story, right? Not a single thing. The one time something was actually suspicious was the power line falling, and there's just so happened to be pink opaque merchandise on the floor. That's pretty much it. And him or they, Owen putting their head through the monitor, that could have just been a visual device, you know? Maybe they didn't actually fucking do that. They're just so obsessed with it that their face is fucking like touching the monitor screen. Or thinking about it like super duper realistically, he could have literally fucking smashed his head through the monitor, you know? Like maybe there is no fucking mirror dimension or like, you know, the real world. He's just smashing his head through a fucking monitor like a mentally ill person. We as the audience never even get to see the other side of the monitor, you know? Like we get to see the TV show, yeah, but like we don't see the fact that him putting his head through the TV does anything. So what is there to make him believe in Maddy's words? Especially when Maddy fucking opened the conversation with, oh yeah guys, let's go fucking bury ourselves, you know, neck ourselves in the woods real quick. And bury ourselves in our old fucking high school after a decade of disappearance with no contact. It's like, brother, please, give me something to work with here. If I had a fucking crack addict of a fucking childhood friend walking up to me like, hey brother, there's actually a real world out there, man, you just gotta jump off a building and like do a 360 no scope head dive into the concrete, you know, like why would I trust this person? Now the saddest part is that at the end of the film, we do get the grand reveal, like, oh hey, you know, like this shit is actually real. You meant to leave this fake reality. You know, he cut himself open through his chest. He see this beautiful fucking interior inside, and he's just happy with that. Owen was satisfied with the fact that, oh, Maddy was telling the truth. He walks out that fucking bathroom, apologized to fuck, I'm so mad. He or they apologizes to everybody, showing that he is content with just the fact that, hey, I could have been someone special and Maddy was right. That's it. The movie ends right there. So that tells us as audience what the fuck is the message? Just believe in your crackhead fucking childhood friend and neck yourself, bro. Like, oh my god, the message is so fucking bad. Every single thing besides the message is good. This film is fucking wonderful. Besides the pacing and besides the message. I'm just super irritated by the ending because it's like, damn, bro, I asked for a hard to swallow movie and they give me one of the hardest hitting movie of all time, and I just have to sit there and take it. Holy fuck, Jesus. This is a 4 out of 5 movie for me, by the way. I deducted a point for the shit pacing and also utterly bad message. Before I go, I want to present this question, which I've briefly mentioned earlier. Did Owen's father ever truly harm him? The entire time, it seems like, you know, Owen's father might have been abusive or neglectful or something of that nature. But when you think about the fact that Owen feels safe enough to always go back to their home, and we see their like room being tidy, neat, and like nothing seems to imply that Owen is scarred. He's just like timid, you know? The father is strict. When the father asks, isn't that a girl show? Okay, so I had to pause and fucking take a look at the shot again. So it's from the perspective of a person lying down on their side and looking up at the fucking father figure. So it's an unsettling angle for us as adults because we don't really fucking see things this way. And actually, I think it's a teen. Now looking back on the shot, it's actually a teen. So Owen is at his teen age, not a child. But still, Owen was laying down on his mother's lap, looking up at their father. This type of angle usually is used on the villain, so it's a really smart way of using cinematography against us, the viewer. We associate this type of shot with like a villain, you know? So subconsciously we think, oh, the father must be bad, this and that. When in reality, this father could genuinely just be confused and asking a question like, oh, I'm not in touch with the media. I'm not in touch with the kids these days. Isn't that like a girl show? It's all about tone and presentation and lighting. Now, lighting here is really fucking important because all we see is the side profile of the father's face. Again, showing us like he's this mysterious, maybe like super harsh person. But again, if we look at the big picture, the big fucking picture, right? Throughout the entire life of Owen, he always feels comfortable enough to go back to their home, be around their father, and be around like their family. And also, this father is progressive enough to marry a black partner as a white man. So we already have some hints of this father probably not being as bad as we like subconsciously think they are. This last detail is a big fucking stretch on my part, but it's basically related to how the father tries to help Owen, right? So you're thinking, huh? Helping? Isn't he like the fucking the Mr. 𝓜𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬's like henchman? So that kind of plays into it too, you know, because like 𝓜𝓾𝓼𝓲𝓬 wants to keep a good dream going, you know. What I'm trying to get at here is when Owen stuck his face through the TV, he should have gotten burn scars on his face. And his father, being very fucking concerned, went in there, dragged his face out of the goddamn burning TV, and then tried to like apply water to it. The way that the film shot the knob makes me believe the father is trying to apply hot water, which is the wrong thing to do. There's a lot of research online and forum and discussions, but people have like different opinions. Some people say use cold water to help with burn wounds. Some people say use lukewarm water. Overall, people agree that like cool water should be applied. So that's the only inconsistency I've noticed. But everything else, we literally know nothing of the father, so we have no way to make assumptions besides just through like these, you know, clever shots. I feel fucking so dumb, dude, because like this movie is so good, but I'm explaining it poorly. It has a really shitty message. I don't know, we kind of just have to deal with it, man.